Women prefer and choose weak men. They say they like strong men. What I mean by that is they like a guy who's on steroids and covered in tattoos and talks tough. They're not strong men. They're just conformists. They're just people that just do what they're told to do because society tells them this is what gets you accepted. Strong men are individualists. They don't listen to anybody. They don't allow anybody to tell them what to do. They do what's right. I mean, take the COVID pandemic, for example. How many men was on the streets protesting? Their children's schools were closed down. Playgrounds were closed down. Kids couldn't buy toys. It wasn't an essential. Kids couldn't buy clothes at one point or shoes. How many men was on the streets protesting? Kids had to be deprived of oxygen with these stupid masks. They prodded pins up their noses and down their nostrils. How many men was fighting for that? This is child abuse. Men was not fighting. Because men are more interested in plucking their eyebrows and waxing their fucking legs. They're not interested in being men. And this is partly because if they are real men, women don't like them. Women like the conformists. They like the guys who do what they want them to do, who talk the way they want them to talk, who dress the way they want them to dress, who smell the way they want them to smell. You know, guys shouldn't be wearing fucking perfume. It's a woman's thing. I mean, I know it's acceptable now, and if you don't wear perfume, you're considered a scruff bag. But I wash every day, but I don't wear all this shit. You know, there's no chemicals go on my body other than what needs to go on. There's no clothes that go on my body that what needs to go on. I don't wear no stupid Nikes or stuff. I just wear what I want to wear. You know, I go to the barbers every 2 weeks. But women don't want them sort of guys. And I mean, we take the COVID thing, for example. It just shows you how weak men were. No men was fighting. Very few. There might have been a small minority. I was one of the few that wanted to fight. And I made it quite near. I made my views known to everybody. At work, in the gym, everywhere I went. I said, I'm not going to take this shit. I'm not going to do what they want me to do. I'm going to rebel. And I did. But nobody followed me. The women didn't follow me. So here's this guy who doesn't take no shit. Here's this guy who doesn't want to be controlled. Let's follow him. Said they want the guys who, they see me as antisocial. They see guys like me as antisocial. They blame guys like me. I mean, I was called a granny killer, basically. It was my fault that the pandemic was prolonged, basically. Society was told to think that. And the men was just so weak, there was allowing this to happen. And it's not just about the COVID. I mean, take the Russell Brand recent allegations. I mean, they are allegations. I don't want to say he's guilty or nothing like that. We've not just got Russell Brand, we've got the Harvey Weinstein, we've even got Sarah Everard, for example. I mean, this is mostly to do with weak men. I mean, let's take Russell Brand and Harvey Weinstein, very similar stories. Let's assume that the stories are true. I don't want to cast any guilt on anybody. I'm not a judge. I've not seen the evidence. But anyway, let's assume these stories are true. Where are these women's partners, brothers, fathers? Why are they allowing these women to take chances to be left alone with men that we all know what Russell Brand was about? And yet, there's no men. I mean, if I had a woman, I would make my presence known. If my woman had to do a job with a guy, I'd make my presence known and say, look, I'm here. If you fuck with my woman, you're going to be in trouble. You know, that's what I'm like. My kids as well, I'd be the same for that. And we've also got the Harvey Weinstein, which is a similar thing where celebrities were getting abused and molested by Harvey Weinstein. If I had a girlfriend who was an actress or whatever, and she had an agent and he was Harvey Weinstein, I went to Harvey and I would make sure my presence was known. And I'd make sure I would intimidate him. I wouldn't be a nasty guy because I need my woman to get a job. And I would say, look, do what you got to do, be business-like, help my woman get a job in acting or movies or whatever. But I'm here if anything goes wrong. I won't allow nothing like that to happen. The Sarah Everard situation. I mean, this girl was out at 9 o'clock at night. She had a father, she had a boyfriend. I don't know if she had a brother or not. But why? I'm not saying it was right what happened. I mean, this the cop who got jailed for it, he should be executed. He should have his balls cut off. But that's a different matter. At the end of the day, she shouldn't have been out at 9 o'clock at night. It's not safe for women to be out that late. Why didn't she give her father a ring? Why didn't she give her boyfriend a ring? Did she have a brother? I mean, was there someone in her life who could have come and helped her? Was she an independent feminist who walks around with this Xena warrior, I can do what I want attitude and put himself in unnecessary risks that women shouldn't be putting themselves into? There's no strong men in her life. A strong man would have been a patriarch. Her father would have raised her, say, you're a girl, you always need protecting. I will always be here for you. Always turns to me. Don't go out alone. Don't take risks. I will always be there. It doesn't matter whether you're 30, whether you're 10 years old, doesn't matter. Jimmy Savile, I guess you could say the same about that. I mean, these kids were meeting Jimmy Savile, well, I don't know, they were 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. I mean, again, how? Why was there not the fathers around? I mean, weak men have always been around at the end of the day. It's not a new thing. Weak men have got weaker and weaker, but guys, I see women, when you talk to women and they say what kind of guy they want, they give a big list of what a guy must have. A lot of demands, a big list of demands. And usually it's based on being weakness. It's usually based on having nice big muscles. You got big muscles because you filled your body with urine. That's what steroids does. And nice tattoos. Tattoos is about conformity, having the beards when the beards were in fashion. That was all about conformity. Guys who pluck their eyebrows and wax the legs, wax the chest, wear the colognes and wear the trendy clothes. And so they want guys who conform. They don't want strong men. You know, I think the Patrick Swayze kind of guy, you know, no one puts baby in the corner. That kind of guy would be considered toxic nowadays. Women would say, look, you don't speak for me. You don't speak to my dad like that. You don't protect me. I can protect myself. That's what women are like. And they're not interested in the strong guys. And society's just crumbling as a result. I believe there's going to be a rape culture at some point. And a lot of these women are just going to be easy prey. A lot of guys are becoming misogynist. I'm not a rapist. I don't condone abusing women, hurting women. I just don't give a shit about them. There's a difference. I'm a misogynist, but I'm not intentional. I've got no intentions to harm anyone or do anything. I'd rather just tell a bitch to fuck off than give her the satisfaction of feeling she's worth anything. You know, if I don't like a woman, I wouldn't even waste my time doing anything to her. But a lot of guys aren't going to think like me. A lot of guys are going to become more misogynistic. They're going to realise that women are just getting crazily obsessed with independence and rejecting men and misandry towards men and man-hating bollocks. Men are just going to turn one day, and women are going to be in a big trouble. And there's only going to be a few women who are going to be protected, and they're going to be the women who've actually chosen the strong guys. Because most guys are just going to bow down and say, oh, do what you want to do, mate. You're too big for me. I'm a weak guy. I'm not going to protect nobody. But that's the way it is.